messed up. It's pretty hard. Ooh, breathing in dust. The Los Altos is almost on its way out. So I'm coning to soften this up a little bit. Do you have sound on?
Yeah.
So make sure you're using clay that's pretty soft. So after you've coned and you're trying to get centered, you're gonna center the clay like you normally do, right? The mushroom shape, right everybody? I don't wanna see any volcanoes. So once this is centered and you're ready to go, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna lower this down. So to lower it down, you're using this part of your hand over the center axis of the clay. Not here, because if you do that, then all of a sudden you get like a little belly button. I'm gonna go back over it, okay? The outside hand is keeping your clay centered. So I'm gonna start lowering down, and pushing the clay down. And it looks like it's just doing it itself, but if you look at the veins in my hand, you can see I'm actually working, right? So I'm gonna push down. And this is what I had told everybody else. You can see how much clay I used. We want about 2.5 to 3 pounds. I always feel like I tell people like 1.5 inches, and nobody really hears me. But if I take my needle tool and I pierce into the clay all the way down, and then I lift it up with the needle tool, and my finger is just overlapped a little tiny bit, that's how thick we want our plate to be to start. Everybody has to do this. Because in the beginning, you guys ignore me, and then you come over and I see like little floppy plates that will break. You gotta make sure we do that. Make sure you cover your hole back up. The next thing you're gonna do is it's gonna be your initial instinct to take your finger and start to pull this out. Let's not do that. You're gonna take your left hand on the side, still compressing, keeping this together. Right hand, you're gonna use the meat of your palm, more towards the thumb than right in the middle. You're gonna go back to that center point and press down. And again, see how hard I pressed. So I'm gonna press down in the middle, and then at 11 o'clock, I'm gonna start to push outward into my outside hands. And as I'm applying pressure going out, I'm going to apply less pressure so I get a nice curve. So what happens a lot of times is people do the opposite of that. They press less in the beginning, and then as they're pushing out, they press more, and then you get a big hump in the middle of your plate. We want a nice curve because you want all the juices of your food to collect to the middle, not to the edges, okay? So we got that nice little round curve. So what happens in this situation is sometimes people go, yep, I made a plate. Look how pretty it is. This is not a plate. We want to make the plate by, again, shifting over to the right side, just like the bowl. You're not applying pressure here. If I apply pressure here, I'm not going to keep my nice curve. So I'm going to push in just a little bit on the outside. You see I just pushed in a tiny bit? Now I'm going to throw the plate up. So as my professor, who has passed away, Victor Babu, would always say, you're making ugly dog water bowls. So do you see this dog water bowl shape? And you can see that my rim is a little thick because we want it to be a little thick. Nobody wants razor sharp edge plates. They chip. You want a nice curve. So from here, just like the salad bowl that I taught you, you're going to take your hands and you're going to drop that plate down. So you're putting a lot of pressure here. The rest of the lip will just follow, and you come down into your plate shape. After you have done this, you're done. Once you lower that rim and you start messing with it, the whole thing gets off. So So you set it up. That's a beautiful plate. I did a good job. I give myself an A. Now you're gonna take your tool and you're gonna undercut into this because you need that perfect registration circular ring to center it when you turn it upside down. Undercutting for plates, you really have to push all the way down at the wheel head to minimize cutting into it. And then from there, you have to store them on the bats, and that's what it ends up looking like, okay? That's it.